This is the secret to have your golf swing set up just like a professional, and we're gonna talk about how you can do that today. Here we go. So setup is very, very key. It's one of the key fundamentals of your overall swing, and we're gonna talk about multiple factors in your setup that affect how you hit the ball. So I have a 7-iron here. What we're gonna look at today is ball position, your posture, and then your overall alignment with your shoulders and then your feet. So firstly, my 7-iron and my ball position, right? I'm gonna want this ball position to be straight in the middle of my stance. I see a lot of people set up either way too far forward and they lean back, or way too far backward and now they're digging into the ground, right? I want this ball position for your 7-iron to be straight in the middle, and I want your feet to be slightly wider than shoulder width apart. You want a good base here, right? A good base in your swing is extremely, extremely important, because a good base means that you have balance, right? Balance is key when it comes to swinging it well and having a good finish where you're not leaning back or leaning forward, right? We don't want to be staggering. We just want to go all the way through to our finish, just like this, okay? So number one, ball position, we just covered. Now, posture, one of the biggest things I see with people's posture is they're too hunched over like this, right? Their knees are too bent, they're too hunched over, and now they're just hitting a shot like that, right? What I want to see you do instead here is set up to the golf ball, bend your knees slightly, right? Goalkeeper stance where you can't get knocked over, but you're also not super wide and like in a sumo stance, okay? Slight knee bend, again, shoulder width apart, middle of my stance. Now what I'm going to want to do is have my arms hang down and then grip the club there where it's comfortable, right? And then for my posture, I'm not going to want to be leaned over too much like this, right? I'm going to want to be just not stood up either. I want to stand up, slight knee bend, and then slight hip hinge, right? Slight hip hinge down. So now my eyes are over the ball, my chest is over the ball, and now I'm able to come down and through the golf ball, okay? If I put posture together, my golf shot should look pretty good. Something like that is optimal. So the last thing we're going to talk about today with your setup will be your feet and shoulder alignment, okay? Feet and shoulder alignment are key, because where your feet and your shoulders are aligned, especially your shoulders, is where your swing path's going to be, right? If my feet are aligned straight but my shoulders are aligned to the left, I'm going to be coming out to in and cutting across this ball. I'll lose distance, I'll lose consistency. What I'm going to want to see is your feet aligned straight. You can put a club down here and you can see where straight is, and then you can align your feet and then you can swing with a different club. That's something that I used in the beginning when I had no alignment sticks. Okay, your shoulders, all you're gonna have to do is set up. Now my feet are straight. Now you just can take your club and put it across your shoulders. I'm left to target, so I'm gonna want to move my shoulders to the right of the target. Now they can stay the exact same, and now I'm in a perfect position to aim for that flag. Okay, perfect position every time. You can even check, okay, here you can use your hand here and just check your lead shoulder to see where it's pointed, right? You can see all the different ranges, and if you just use your lead hand to at least get a good guess of where you're pointed, you'll have a much better time out on the golf course setting up for perfection. So if I put all three of those things together, right, ball position's good in the middle of my stance. I'm not too wide with my feet, but they're a good distance apart. I have a little bit of forward shaft lean, right? My shoulders and my feet are now aligned a little right of target because the wind is off the right. And now, lastly, my posture is good. Knees are bent slightly, and my hip hinge is good, where my chest isn't too far over and I'm too far stood up. So now if we put all three of those things together, what should happen is we should have a good golf swing here. Little baby draw with the wind, all the way to my finish. Setup felt really good, and then we're in a great position to hit the ball well. So to go over all three of these things again, right? Number one, your ball position. Ball position is key, fundamental when it comes to hitting all your clubs well, because where your ball position is where you're going to be striking the ball, okay? Number one, I'm using a 7-iron here. I'm gonna want it in the middle of my stance. So I can take my stance, step, and now it's in the middle where my feet are a little wider than shoulder width, and now I can come down and through, okay? Ball position is perfect. Now what I'm gonna wanna do is really focus on the other two aspects, right? So we're talking about ball position, overall posture, and then alignment with our shoulders and our feet. So now posture, right? I don't want to be too hunched over or too stood up, right? If I'm too stood up, I'm going to top the ball or miss the ball just like that, okay? If I'm too stood up, I'm going to top or even miss the ball, right? Straight top, because I'm too stood up. My center of gravity is too far up. What I want to see you do instead is have a good bend with my knees here, and then let my hands drop. That's where we grip the club. And then have a good hip hinge here, right? Good bend knees, and then have a good hip hinge to where we're in a good attackable position and we're in an athletic position more, okay? We do really want to be in that athletic position. Lastly, what I really wanted to talk about was our shoulder and foot alignment. We want our shoulder and foot alignment to be in a generally same direction, right? My shoulders determine where I'm swinging, right? If I'm swinging it way out to the right, like this with my shoulders, I'm gonna have that hook shot, right? Same thing goes for the left, right? I'm gonna have that out to in shot. Okay, so if we put all three of these things together, good ball position, good posture, and good alignment with our shoulders and feet, it should look something like this. Right at the pin, great golf shot, great strike. Couldn't ask for much better. So if you're also interested, I'm doing free 15-minute golf consultation sessions for you guys. Click the link in the top of the description or down below in the comments as well. If you haven't already, the subscribe link is down below here, and my new recent upload is going to be right here. I'll see you guys in the next one.